Well, good morning. I'm sorry we're starting a few minutes late, but I wanted to try to get everything in order and everybody a chance to get set up. Just to introduce myself, I'm Mark Volich. I'm the mayor of Clinton, Iowa. And I would like to introduce this distinguished group that's behind me that you saw me line up. Now, going from my right to left, your left to right, we have representing the 2nd Congressional District Congressman Dave Loebsack is Henry Marquardt. Representing Illinois 17th Congressional District Congresswoman Cheri Bustos is Christopher Shallow. Iowa State Senator Rita Hart from the 49th District. Iowa State House Representative Mary Wolf from the 98th District. And representing Mayor Ken Fallback of Comanche is Tom Roth, the City Administrator. Mayor Don Tilgen from DeWitt. Mayor Larry Russell of Fulton. Village President Vicki Traeger of Thompson. Mayor Tony McCombie of Savannah could not make it today, but Mayor Everett Panier of Morrison, Illinois is here. Also is Superintendent Deborah Olson of the Clinton Community School District, Superintendent Tom Parker of the Comanche School District, and Nathan Sondergroth from the Gateway Area Chamber of Commerce. Two other mayors, mayor and village president that weren't able to make it were Mayor Carl Bates of Mount Carroll and Village President Glenn Worth of Milledgeville. As you can see, we've assembled quite a group of people here today, and I also would like to introduce in the audience Councilmember Tom Detterman. He is here in the audience today also. Basically, I'm here today to talk about the Target closing in Clinton, Iowa. On November 3rd, I was informed from a phone call from corporate headquarters that Target was closing the Clinton store. Their formal announcement took place on November 4th. They gave me for a reason for the closing was declining financial performance. No other explanation, and basically I asked them what they based it on, and I received no other information other than that one statement of declining financial performance. On November 4th, it was formally announced, which news media did report, 79 employees are affected by this closing, and the store is tentatively scheduled to close on January 31st, 2015. Now, since that time, the community has rallied to save our Target. Nikki Carver of Comanche has started the Save Target Facebook page, which I know many of you have seen. We have garnered, as of yesterday, over 5,300 signatures. There is a printed copy on the back table. It is 99 pages long. It has signatures and comments. They also scheduled to have a shop-in on November 8th, which was very well attended. And on November 6th, I decided to make my number one priority as mayor of Clinton to save this Target. I know some people have said that it's an impossibility, and it may be, but at least we're going to try. So starting on November 6th, I reached out to the mayors and the village presidents of the area around Clinton, which is made up of eastern Iowa and western Illinois. And the group of mayors that are behind me are the group that I contacted along with the several that were not able to make it. And from that, I asked them each to write a letter of support asking Target not to close the Clinton store from the mayor, and second, for each of their councils to pass a resolution officially asking Target on behalf of each of those cities to not close the Clinton Target store. Now, the copies of all the resolutions and the mayor's letters are also on the back table. I've also started what I consider the old-fashioned way of doing things, the paper petition. A lot of people use the media, social media. Well, I'm still a little bit of the old-fashioned era. I believe in paper, and there's nothing wrong with it because that takes effort. People went out door to door. They went to stores. They went around and got signatures. And as of right now, there's 2,890 signatures on paper in the back on that table. Following reaching out to the mayors and the village presidents, I reached out to our congressional members, and both on the Iowa and Illinois sides, and they are represented here today. I also have asked our state senator and state representative for support in this issue, and they too are here today. And my last group that I reached out to was the Clinton and Comanche school districts. I asked them to have their students write letters of why should they not close the Target store in Clinton, Iowa. And on the back table, there is 477 letters from students in these two school districts asking Target not to close the store. Now, just as an excerpt, I selected 3 letters that, just to give you what children think about the Target closing that I'm going to read real quickly here. The first one is, to whom it may concern. I'm writing on behalf of my class. We frequent Target in Clinton, Iowa for Special Olympic community outings monthly. The staff at the Clinton store has been amazing to our group. We would truly be devastated if Target closes the store. The kids often ask to visit Target on other days. Thank you for listening. And that's from Ms. Wilkening's class, Comanche Elementary School in Comanche. The second one is from Cameron. Dear Target Corporation, you should not close the Clinton Target located in Clinton, Iowa. This is the nearest Target to our area, with the next an hour away in Davenport. If Target closes, all of your old profits will go to Walmart and help them grow. If Target closes, no other business will want to grow in our community. Target helps the schools in the area with supplies like pencils, paper, scissors, and other help funds, and helps fund schools with grants. Target is cheaper than Walmart, so it helps families save money. Target has wonderful employees. They are always nice and very helpful. These employees are going to be unemployed and might even lose their homes because they won't have any income coming into their household. The Clinton Target should be saved because it is a boost to our community, and if it closes, the Target Corporation will lose money from their income in Clinton, and that will go to Walmart. Please don't close Target. And the last letter that I'm going to read is from Josie. Dear Target, I believe our city would greatly appreciate it if you would continue your services as one of our main stores. I understand Walmart is a big competitor of your store. However, there are several things people can get at Target that people cannot get at Walmart. Or you sell your items at a lower price. Personally, I like your selection of clothes and electronics better than Walmart's. Target's brand of clothes seems a lot more appealing and stylish to me and several of the students in my class. As I mentioned before, your electronics department is very nice as well. Electronics are a big part of kids my age today. The advances in social media, video games, and other technology devices have sparked a certain interest in my generation, which could increase sales specifically in that department. My parents also appreciate your electronics department because the prices of the items are less expensive and the employees in that department give a more accurate description of the device and answer questions that parents can understand. Besides your amazing and useful products, Target also provides 75 jobs. Some people may need these jobs to feed their families or just even to feed themselves. Clinton is not a very big city, so I imagine it would be difficult for people to find jobs. I understand this may sound sentimental and sympathetic, but Target has been in Clinton forever, since I was little, and I would hate to see it disappear. Clinton's mayor has even started a petition that has signatures from tons of people in nearby cities and our own city. We have even started a Facebook page dedicated to saving our Target, and a hashtag on Instagram, hashtag Save Our Target. Please reconsider your decision on taking away our Target. You know, kids sometimes say things that are more meaningful than some of us adults can say. But you know, I don't remember a time in Clinton's history that such a large group of people have gotten together. Because look at the group that's standing behind me. Look at the number of cities that are involved. You know, I don't think this has ever occurred in our area, and I'm not sure it happens too often around the country. So it's a very, I don't know, it can be an emotional thing that there's this much support to save our Target. And just as a bit of history, Target first opened in Clinton in 1973. And they are located originally on Lincoln Way, where the Farm and Fleet is located now. And in 1994, they built their new building out on the highway at Manufacturing and Highway 30. Now, I've looked at the other 10 stores that are going to close. The explanation that's been given for each of those closings is the same: declining financial performance. 3 words: declining financial performance. And I think those are the key words to why Target should not close in Clinton. Not one of those 10 stores can tell the story that we can tell. Not one of those 10 stores can say that a federal supermax prison is opening within 10 miles. Not one of those 10 stores have a potential boost of over $36 million in their regional economy due to a federal prison opening. And not one of those 10 stores have assembled the show of unity with so many communities and other public officials as Clinton has. You know, if Target follows through and closes the Clinton store, they're going to lose millions of dollars in future sales and potentially give a sizable market share to Walmart in this region. And the citizens in this region are not going to necessarily drive all the way to Davenport to shop at a Target. Now, I've asked Nathan Sondergroth of the Gateway Chamber of Commerce to go into more detail of what an actual federal supermax prison opening within 10 miles of Clinton has on the economic impact of the city and the actual retailer. So Nathan, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor, very much. Thank you, Mayor. My name is Nathan Sondergroth from the Clinton Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here today. But before I talk about what the mayor introduced, I'd just like to thank him, Mayor Volich, for his leadership so far on this particular effort. He really has been the convener and the voice of this. Since the first announcement, this has been a partnership, too, between the Clinton Regional Development Corporation and the Clinton Area Chamber of Commerce and the City of Clinton in order to help outline some of the business case as to why Clinton, we believe Target may be simply rash in making its decision based on everything we know that's going to occur in this market over the course of the next 1 to 3 years. As Mayor Volich mentioned, the Thompson Federal Prison, a United States penitentiary, will open in the next 18 to 24 months, located in Thompson, Illinois. In fact, we have the village president from Thompson, Illinois here. This is going to be a huge regional impact that's going to have a direct impact on household consumption within our region. In 2010, the city of Clinton hired Iowa State University, specifically Dr. David Swenson, in order to study and quantify the impact of the opening of the Thompson Federal Prison. In March of 2014, we updated that study, and what it shows is an estimated 1,428 jobs, direct jobs, indirect jobs, and induced jobs. When those wages of those new jobs are converted from wages to household spending, Iowa State University estimates that $35.8 million in new household consumption is going to hit our region. That is a tremendous number each year of new consumption, which Target in Clinton is poised to capitalize upon. If Clinton's Target closes, then it puts tens of thousands of people over an hour's drive away from a Target store. And so as you can see by the people lined up behind us here at the podium, Clinton remains a regional trade center focused on between 100 and 105,000 people. That is where we draw from. And so putting a Target store out of the reach of those people will have a negative impact on the business of the Target Corporation. And then finally, the last point I would make too is the president and CEO, or the CEO of the Target Corporation, is named Brian Cornell. And Mr. Cornell came to the Target Corporation in summer of 2014. In and around his time as starting at Target, our local management team also came to the Target store. And in that short amount of time, this local management team has re-engaged the community of not just Clinton, but then also the surrounding area. And just in the short time that they have been here, they have gotten more involved in chamber activities, more involved in nonprofit activities. We would just ask Target Corporate to give them time that they need in order to fulfill the potential that we know exists in this market for their store. And so with that, I thank the mayor for allowing the chamber to participate. From a chamber perspective, we support continuing to ensure that Clinton, Iowa is a regional trade center, and we believe that it helps all businesses if we have people coming here to shop and to recreate. So with that, thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Nathan. And now representing Congressman Dave Loebsack is Henry Markart.
Good morning. Unfortunately, the congressman's official duties keep him in Washington, so he can't be with us today. But he does send his regards. Congressman Loebsack is very happy to be working with the City of Clinton and the community. As you can see, it's a tremendous effort that is pulled together here. And he and his colleague, Congressman Bustos from across the river, have come together and have co-written a letter which we're sending to Target, asking them to hold off on the closing, allow the community to come together and address the situation, and show what can be done. I think in the interest of everybody that's speaking, we'll keep it short and not read that letter, but I do have copies for anybody here who is interested in seeing that. I will also add that our role here is to be supportive and to offer our assistance to the city and the community in whatever capacity we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Henry. Next is Senator Rita Hart.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks to everybody who's here today. I too would like to echo the same sentiments that we certainly want to encourage Target to reconsider their decision here. However, I think I would like to make one more comment, and that is that you could see here that good things are happening in Clinton. Not just that we've got some economic development things on the horizon like the Thompson Prison, but we have a lot of people here in Clinton who care a great deal about the town. People, ordinary citizens who are stepping up and working together, but also the town leaders, the city leaders and the community leaders who are very committed to this area, who are working very hard, and who are working together as a team. So when we look at see what is happening here today, that's the good news. The good news is that Clinton is moving forward. Clinton is moving ahead. Good things are happening in Clinton. And I think that the point needs to be made to Target that if you pull out now, you might be missing out on some great things ahead. We're going to move forward no matter what. No matter what happens here, we're going to move forward, and great things are going to be happening to the entire community of Clinton, thanks to the people who live here and the people who are providing leadership, working together on common goals. I'm excited about that, and I look forward to the future accordingly. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to come here today, and thank you, Mayor, for providing the leadership. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Rita. Next is Iowa House Representative Mary Wolf.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you everyone for being here today. I very much appreciate and support the efforts being made to attempt to persuade Target Corporate Board to keep our local Target here in Clinton. Like so many Clinton residents, I value Target's presence in our area and the many contributions that they make to our community. However, I also very much appreciate and value the presence of all of the other retail and service businesses in Clinton. Some are longtime family-owned businesses, some are new startups by hopeful young entrepreneurs, some are big box retail stores, somewhat similar to Target, and all of these businesses deserve our thanks and our appreciation for their commitment to Clinton's residents and Clinton's future. I intend to express my appreciation to these local businesses by shopping local this holiday season. I'm going to encourage my family and my friends to do the same, and I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage all of my constituents to do the same. I'm very proud of the hard work that so many local residents and leaders are putting into this effort. I hope it's successful, but as Senator Hart said, Clinton's moving forward. We'd like Target to be a part of it, but I'd say if they choose not to be a part of it, that's their loss. We're going to be fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And now representing Mayor Ken Fallback of Comanche is the City Administrator, Tom Roth.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning, everyone. I have a written statement that the mayor wanted me to read, and then I have a personal story I'd like to share about Target and Clinton. So first of all, the cities of Clinton and Comanche share many common bonds, one of them sharing retail and commercial services. For many years, our residents have enjoyed the convenience and value provided by that local Target store. They have shared in the many and varied employment opportunities provided by our local Target store. Target has been a cornerstone of retail shopping in the Gateway area for many, many years. There are significant economic initiatives at work in the Gateway area that have the potential to create many new jobs. I think you're hearing a recurring theme. Those new jobs will provide additional income that ultimately will lead to increased local retail sales. On behalf of the Comanche community, we respectfully ask that Target reconsider their decision to close our local store and to give these economic development initiatives a chance to work, to bring new jobs, and to improve our local economy. Target and the Gateway area have been partners for many years. We ask Target not to give up on us, and we won't give up on them. Personal story. I grew up in Bellevue, Iowa, 38 miles to the north. Every year at Christmas time, Mom and Dad would make a pilgrimage to Clinton. And there were two things that drew them to Clinton. Two things at that time that were unique to Clinton. This was back when I was in high school. One of them was Paul's. One of them was Target. Target existed in Clinton before it existed in Dubuque. Target brought people all the way from Bellevue back then. I'm certain it does that for us today. We can't lose that cornerstone of our retail community, and we certainly encourage Target to reconsider their decision. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Next is Mayor Don Tilgen of DeWitt.
Hi, I'll be brief. I wasn't going to say anything, but in many of the comments that are mentioned here earlier, especially Mayor Village had mentioned about surprised to see the support here. A lot of people that are maybe far out there in the corporate offices or people that are not from the area have no real realization on when there's a real need, and most everybody here feels that there is a need, how we come together. Not only if there's in the farm community, if there's somebody that's ill, sick, accident or whatever. Most recently, the hundreds of people come together to harvest the crops, whether there's a fire in the neighborhood. We come together. That's a Midwest culture, and that's why we're here today. And I think it's really important that we pass this message on to Target's corporate. And I'd also like to wish everybody a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving, because we have so much to be thankful for.
Thank you, Don. Next is Mayor Larry Russell of Fulton.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess I'd like to speak to some of the critics of the Save the Target effort. I think we've all had those comments. Why are you wasting your time? The decision is done, has been made, and besides, it's another big box store that's competing with our local downtown businesses. My response is, man, I don't know if you've had any of these comments, but is that it is a very big deal. I know people that are immediately east of Fulton on the Illinois side, thousands of homes, they have choices to make, where to shop. There's a growing area between Sterling and Dixon. It'd be easy to go there or to come toward Clinton. If they don't come to Clinton, they don't go past Fulton. They don't stop at our meat market. They don't do other things too. I says, so from that standpoint, keeping Clinton and our whole area as a strong retail market is a big draw. We heard talks about people coming all the way from Bellevue and other places. It's a big deal. If you're out toward DeWitt, same idea. You have a choice: 53rd Avenue, or go to Davenport, or do you come into Clinton? It means a big deal to Applebee's. Do a convenience meal while you're shopping, and makes a deal even for Paul's and other stores, because they do comparison shopping. If they're not coming here, they're going someplace else, and it's just a reality of the situation. We are in a competitive regional economy, and it makes sense to go after it. And I think they have I think you turned a bit rash. So just time to take a pause, and I think we can maybe get their attention. So thank you all, and thank you, Mark. It was a great effort. Thanks.
Thank you, Larry. And finally, we have Superintendent Deb Olson of the Clinton Community School District.
Thank you, Mark, and it's a pleasure being here with so many other people trying to draw awareness to this particular need in our community. I stand before you in solidarity with the Mayor of Clinton and with the rest of these people up here in support of maintaining the Clinton Target store. I would ask the Target CEO, Brian Cornell, to reconsider this closing. This store has been a source of community pride for over 40 years and is a valuable resource to my teachers and my students alike. It is a department store that provides so many different types of resources at affordable prices. Small rural communities need and depend on the goods provided by Target. And I would hope that Target corporate, even though maybe Target corporate is in a large metropolitan area and they don't understand what it's like to live in a small rural area. We value our Target, we value the people who work at our Target. So please reconsider the closing of this store. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. And now I'm going to open it up if there's any questions from the press.
What other steps are being taken or do you hope to take other than the grassroots campaigns and the letters and all of that?
Well, these letters, all the letters of support, the copy of the video that we've made for this press conference are all going to be sent to all the corporate Target officials. I think we've targeted 13 of them that we're going to send this to. From there, we are going to be requesting an actual face-to-face meeting. My goal is to meet with the CEO, although I've been told that won't happen, but that was 2 weeks ago before we had this underway. I feel now that we have enough support that somebody's going to talk to us, and we're not going to give up until we actually talk to someone in the ivory tower, I guess, as you want to phrase it with the corporate world. So, no, we will continue this, and I will continue this effort until the day they actually lock that door and they turn off the lights.
It's always hard to energize people behind any kind of an issue, but it seems like everybody's fired up from all walks of communities, many different organizations and towns. What does that say to you about the energy behind trying to save this store?
Well, I think Mayor Tilgen phrased it well when he talked about that this is the Midwestern attitude that people rally when someone's in need. You know, we had a death out in the county a few weeks ago of a farmer that his combine was hit by a train, and he ultimately died from those injuries. The farmers around that area came and they harvested his fields for him. I think the same is true here. We're a city, so we don't normally think those things happen that way. But I think it's showing that it does, that Clinton has a need to save the Target store, and the area around it shows that they want to help save it because they actually utilize this Target store.
With Black Friday coming up this week, it's the biggest shopping weekend of the year, do you have any special plans or know of anything that might be going on, especially with the Target?
I plan on shopping at Target on Black Friday and Target in Clinton. I actually plan on being out there on Thanksgiving night, so that's my plans for dealing with this.
Mayor? With this effort, and it's mentioned everybody's behind it, any thoughts, are you going to try to continue this type of dialogue and this enthusiasm into other efforts beyond Target? Or does this go away when the Target fight's over?
No, I actually think that when I became mayor 3 years ago, it was quite obvious that Clinton is not an island, and for economics, that it's very important that the communities around us work together, because Mayor Russell pointed out well that people drive through Fulton if they're on the Illinois side to get to Clinton. So they may buy something. They may stop at a meat market there, and they have very good meat in Fulton. You know, and it's a small independent business. So, and I think that as going forward, we have efforts on the Illinois side that I know we're digressing a bit, but the 4-laning of Highway 30 to Sterling from Clinton to Fulton to Sterling, that's a major project that all these same communities need to be involved in, because that's economic growth for this region. It's the same as it was the opening of the Thompson Prison. That was in Illinois. But on the Iowa side, we were just as active as trying to encourage that to take place also. You know, that started in 2001, so that's been a 13-year project. But I think right now we've actually built the bonds better, because we've got a group of people now that we're working for a very common cause, and there's no reason that this won't continue on to other projects in the future. Yes.
The city has made efforts to save other businesses in the past, but this definitely has a tone of grassroots, and you've seen a lot of the general public outpour with this. Have you ever seen anything like that before? Have you ever seen the general public really take this and take ownership of it?
Well, I kind of mentioned that in the history. I've never really seen that take place. And I've thought about the other businesses that we've had close. A lot of those have been manufacturing. where those are corporate decisions based upon either they've lost contracts, maybe to Chinese firms, or they're outsourcing. This is a retailer that the actual consumer has contact with. You know, most of the people in town don't deal with the actual manufacturers, so they don't have that. It's affecting them as much. Granted, we lost jobs when we lose an industry, but this one here is, you know, we're not going to be able to go on Black Friday to a Target unless we drive somewhere.
I just wonder, is there anybody that works at the Target store here today?
No.
If you could talk to them, what would you tell the employees that are right now wondering about what their future holds?
Well, I would tell them that we're doing everything we can to save their jobs, and we're not going to give up. That's what I would tell them. Corporate was invited to this. There was an invitation sent out to the Target executives, similar to what you got, specifically inviting them to this. And I've got no response back, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. They're going to, this afternoon, they will have contact from me again, telling them about this press conference and what we're intending to do.
And when it comes to Target, beyond the, you know, the special dollar shopping area and the items that they sell, do you feel like losing Target is more representative of something else for your community? Or do you fear that it might be?
You never like to lose a business. And Target, when you look at the businesses, and I've got to be cautious how I phrase this because I don't want to, like I'm slighting other businesses, but Target is a destination. Target is a draw. Our other smaller businesses feed from that draw. And if people don't have a reason to come to Target, they may not have a reason to come and shop at some of our smaller independents. The same as they may not have a reason to come on a Friday night to eat dinner at one of our restaurants and then go shopping at Target. So it has a trickle-down effect, and anytime you lose one of those destinations, it is a serious situation for a city. Any other questions? Well, I'd like to thank everyone that came, that's standing behind me, for taking the time out of their day for coming. And I'd also like to thank everyone that's here. And if anyone wants to talk to any of us after this is over, please feel free to do so.